UFC Fight Night Perth, Jack Della Maddalena versus Carlos Prates took place literally a matter of minutes ago, and this is my immediate reaction to Carlos Prates absolutely butchering Jack Della Maddalena in what was a one-sided performance in a fight I literally called very well, but I did not expect to be so one-sided. And Carlos Prates cements himself as next in line to the winner of Ian Garry versus Islam Makhachev, which is probably going to be taking place in August. It looks like that fight's going to be taking place. And Carlos Prates absolutely butchered Jack Della Maddalena. And I said going into this fight, there's a few things I want to break down on MMA Guru and Bedtime MMA. I have some stuff I have to say about the way you predicted this fight, because you said this was going to be like Ian Garry. Jack Della Maddalena's style of getting in close and using his hands and using kicks when he has to is nothing like Ian Garry staying at range, popping and moving and getting in close only when he absolutely has to. Only when he absolutely has to. But JDM's whole game is to get in the pocket and land those hands up against the cage. Where Ian Garry is much more circled, constantly jabbing, constantly kicking, right hand and things like that. This was never going to be like the Ian Garry fight. It's such a different stylistic fight. Whenever someone had that in the conversation leading up to this fight, I was so confused. Look at JDM's track record. Beat Bilal Muhammad. He struggled against Gilbert Burns. He struggled against Kevin Holland. He struggled against that guy on short notice, that split decision. He's always had struggles leading up, and he got decimated by Islam Makhachev. Carlos Prates was on this insane form, insane KOs, and I just saw the openings that Kevin Holland was able to capitalize on. Bilal Muhammad was hitting him, and I just knew Carlos Prates was going to be more active on the feet, and that's why I picked him to finish JDM. But there is a lot of talking points in this fight. JDM never really got started because Carlos Prates had such, I said, the range advantage as well. I'm very happy the way I predicted this fight. I really thought Prates was going to win it. I knew JDM had a chance because Prates doesn't exactly have bulletproof takedown defense, but like I have been saying, Prates would probably beat Ian Garry now, if we're being honest, because if he lets his hands go like he did in the 5th round. People forget, man. Prates didn't throw any punches the first 4 rounds, and as soon as he started to land and actually throw his hands, he was dropping Ian Garry. He nearly finished Ian Garry. There were so many talking points leading into this fight that I caught on to that nobody else was saying as far as I could see. Now, the Weasel predicted a KO. They're the only ones I really watched. Lucas Tracy just vanished off the face of the earth this last year. He's only predicting the fucking 2 fights of the year. But he predicted it. I can't remember what he had. But I'm very happy the way I predicted this, man. I thought Prates was doing so well with that knee up the middle. Oh my days, that knee up the middle. Now, I had originally picked him to land an uppercut followed by a left hand, an uppercut to break JDM's guard, followed by a left hand to get the finish, drop him, and I can't remember if I say ground and pound or whatever, but it was the low kicks that really started to add up. And JDM looks like when he isn't getting his way on the feet, he just kind of breaks almost. If we're being real, bro, and I don't like saying this because I've been glazing JDM for no joke years, but it has to be said that when JDM is not in gear and when JDM is not going forward and landing and you're curling up against the cage, allowing him to, he was shooting takedowns in this fight as well, which is what I thought was very sus. At the end of the first, he got a very easy takedown. That was obviously Carlos Prates' round regardless. End of the first, got a takedown. After that, Prates was getting back to his feet. Prates kind of had the grappling figured out. But the fact that JDM was even using the grappling, the fact that he was so unconfident on the feet that he had to resort to the grappling, which is nowhere near JDM's strong point. If anything, given the fucking Islam Makhachev fight, that is the weakness that Jack Della Maddalena has. He knew he was outmatched on the feet. He knew Prates was too rangy, too quick, and too slick for him. When those knees up the middle started to land, it didn't matter that JDM had a guard, because he doesn't really have head movement apart from when he's striking. He rarely moves his head unless he's striking. Okay, that's the problem with JDM. And Prates was just piecing him up. Prates was landing so many left hands, incredible jab. But I saw the guru say, and my guru during the week was like, that knee up the middle worries me. And I kind of was like, I'm more worried about the left hand, to be honest with you, followed by the jab. But the knee up the middle was the game changer, because that's what really was rocking JDM. Now, it must be said, JDM's chin is literally GOAT tier. JDM has one of the best chins that we have seen in the welterweight division. Like, the dude was taking an ungodly amount of damage in that cage. And it was the low kicks that ended up buckling him, and Prates got the finish on the ground. You cannot question his heart. You cannot question his chin. But it's hard to see where he goes from here. He's going to have a lot of A lot of struggles with guys at range. Shavkat would probably beat him. JDM versus Shavkat could be a fight next. We don't really know when Shavkat's back. Ian Gary would beat him. For years, I said for years that JDM would beat Ian Gary. Literal years, bro. But unfortunately not. Well, fortunately for me, because I'm from Ireland. Fortunately not. Prates, though, holy shit, the dude's striking is just a next level compared to pretty much a lot of these welterweights. Just how good is Ian Gary, though? Listen, you can shit on Ian Gary. You don't have to like Ian Gary. But the dude can fucking fight. The dude can fight. The dude is good. The dude is fucking great. His ability to control range, his ability to jab, his ability with his kicks. Ian Gary is probably the second best welterweight on the planet at the moment. Even though Carlos Prates could beat him in a rematch if he lets his hands go, you have to go with what we know, and that Ian Gary beat him on short notice, bro. And I'm picking Ian Gary. Fuck it, bro. I'm just going to say I don't even care. I'm going to pick Ian Gary to beat Islam Makhachev. Mainly because I'm Irish. Okay, that's a big part of it. But I'm going to go a full breakdown of that fight when it gets announced and actually why I think that might happen. Because I'm going to save it for that breakdown. Now, before you go crazy in the comment section, oh my god, I can't believe this biased Irish guy. Just hear me out when that video comes out. That's all I ask you. You can clown me in the comments. You're not going to clown me for my JDM pick. Some guy commented on my Prates JDM video this morning. This age like milk. That must be the best milk you've ever tasted in your life today. Must be the best milk. That full fat shit is tasting lovely right about now. All in all, JDM struggled, man. Prates' range was just way too much. I felt like JDM just could not get going. When Prates was just constantly landing. JDM kind of feared coming in. And then in the second round and the third round, JDM was in pure survival mode. He wasn't even trying anymore, if we're being completely honest with you. He had such a hard time getting on the inside. And anytime he was getting on the inside, Prates was just kind of landing. How good is Carlos Prates' striking? It is absolutely incredible. Okay? And this dude is a fucking killer, bro. We need people like Carlos Prates. He is a straight killer. He's taking out Leon Edwards. He's taking out Jack Della Maddalena. Fuck, he nearly took out Ian Gary. He is the real deal. Now, he gets absolutely smoked by Makhachev in the grappling. If JDM is taking you down, then Makhachev is going to absolutely maul you. But still, he fucking flatlines Michael Morales as well. Absolutely flatlines all of these guys, bro. For being completely real with ourselves here, Carlos Prates is probably the third best welterweight in the world at the moment. Incredible performance. Incredible performance. I'm going to talk about the card itself. Quinlan Salkid giving me a bit of a scare against Beneil Dariush. When he got dropped, I actually only saw it in the replay. Beneil Dariush landed a beautiful body kick, followed by a jab. And when he was holding Quinlan Salkid against the cage, I was just like, no, please, God, no. Don't let another hype prospect be ruined by someone like Beneil Dariush. Oh boy, that was not the case. Now, I picked Quinlan Salkid via first round TKO, but with a head kick. Okay, not with a right hand and then stuff like that. It's good to see Beneil Dariush finally rid of the rankings. It's good that we finally see a killer like Quinlan Salkid come up in a boring-ass fucking style like Beneil Dariush kind of go out. I would say the same thing about Mateusz Gamrot, but Mateusz Gamrot's kind of a G where he fights anybody. I don't necessarily... Now, he did get a submission in his last fight against Riverbit, so, you know, gotta give him respect. That's going to be the next fight for Quinlan Salkid. I think he is going to struggle against Gamrot. I probably would pick Mateusz Gamrot to win that fight with that constant pressure. He's kind of like the lightweight Marab. It's kind of how I would describe Mateusz Gamrot. But all in all, I was quite happy with Quinlan Salkid. His transition to the back was so quick. The speed of this guy. And he's 6 foot as well. Like, I thought he was kind of small. No, Quinlan Salkid is fucking big dude, okay? And he hits hard. And he's so fast with his hands. To the point where I'm just like... Damn, this guy's going to cause a lot of problems. And there's some dream matchups of mine that could take place now with Quinlan Salkid in the rankings. Quinlan Salkid versus Mauricio Rufy could be one of the greatest fights I think I've seen. Quinlan Salkid versus Benoit Saint Denis is an absolute classic. I feel like I just need to see him get over this hurdle of Mateusz Gamrot, because that's going to be a massive, massive hurdle to climb. Simply because, fuck, Gamrot's constantly giving pressure, constantly on you, constantly just fucking... a beast, bro. He's a beast. And, yeah, I would love to see that fight. We will see that fight next. I thought Quinlan Salkid, when he was breaking from Beneil Dariush, looked way quicker on the feet. Did quite well not to get held down. He was doing very well breaking the grip of Beneil Dariush and things like that. So he actually did quite well. But it's good to see Quinlan Salkid get this done in the first round. I heard some people say this was like a lose-lose for Quinlan Salkid. Absolutely untrue. If you know, Beneil Dariush literally beat Moicano less than a year ago. He beat Mateo Scarmont as well. That was a good few years ago, though. But I was worried when Dariush had him against the cage and he was just kind of holding him. I was very worried that he might just completely ruin this for everybody. You know, Beneil Dariush loves doing that against like Tony Ferguson and Moicano and things like that. He just loves ruining any good prospect we have. He has to get that one back. But great win from Quinlan Salkid. And it's good to see him finally ranked. I'd love to see him versus Gamrot maybe August. In the August pay-per-view or something like that. Or that even in and of itself could be a sick main event of a Perth fight night. Like Quinlan Salkid versus Gamrot's a good enough main event. If Charles is a way bigger fight, but still. If Gamrot can headline a lot of these main events and fight nights, then we could see him versus Quinlan Salkid. Why not? I'm not mad at that. But all in all, good performance there from Quinlan Salkid. Steve Erceg versus Tim Elliott. Continuously feeling bad for Tim Elliott every single day. I won't spend too much on this fight, but first round, Tim Elliott actually looked kind of decent. And then when the second round, he started to kind of slow down when his unnecessary movement and kind of stuck to the basics. I feel like that's what this fight came down to, who had better striking. And Steve Erceg is going to be extremely hard to beat in the boxing. And I thought Erceg was using the right hand and the 1-2 extremely well. Tim Elliott was doing well with the low kicks. Steve Erceg just refuses to throw low kicks. I could not understand in this fight why he was not throwing low kicks. I think he threw one low kick the whole time. Absolutely insane. Tim Elliott was asking to get low kicked in that fight. The reason he had such good movement is because he was allowed to do that. But all in all, I thought Steve Erceg did quite well. I thought he was popping and moving extremely well. It was good. The 1-2 down the pipe was working very well. And when he started to get his jab going in the second and the right hand going in the second and third, I thought it was quite easy money. And all in all, it was just quite a solid performance from Steve Erceg. There's one fight I want to talk about. Obviously, Shamil Gaziev versus Bektis was class fight. And obviously Marwan, absolutely incredible left hook KO, finished that. Tai Tuivasa is on a, 7 now, him and Tony Ferguson. I just want to say, I was actually feeling a little bit embarrassed to call myself an MMA fan watching this absolute lump of shit. Louis Sutherland was a pig rolling around in mud, if we're being completely honest with you. Yes, he would absolutely kill me in a fight. Yes, Tai Tuivasa would absolutely kill me in a fight. I'm not denying that. But still, this was actually just disgraceful. It was terrible. It was one of the worst fights I have ever seen. And the fact that they were just two big fat guys sitting on each other actually made me embarrassed to be an MMA fan. If I'm being completely honest with you, it actually made me embarrassed to be an MMA fan. I wanted to talk about that because that was just... What the fuck was that? But, you know, Sutherland got the win. It doesn't even matter, to be honest with you, because of how shit the performance was. But back to JDM versus Carlos Prates. Fuck, I got this fight so correct. And listen, it was tough seeing JDM lose like that because I am a massive Jack Della Maddalena fan. We are Jack Della Maddalena fans, but I always just fancied Prates in this fight. I seen JDM struggle and get hit against Bilal Muhammad. Not struggle, but get hit against Bilal Muhammad. He struggled against Gilbert Burns, bro. I know Gilbert Burns was using the grappling, but people are acting like he decimated Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland had success in that fight, and people don't want to admit it, bro. They just simply don't. That Kevin Holland's jab was landing. And I just thought we needed to look at the stylistic fights that JDM had. One of them was Randy Brown. He absolutely decimated him. But the second one was Kevin Holland. That was the one I was making, like, a lot of my prediction for JDM versus Prates came on that. And it came on the fact that Prates was on such good form, knocking out Leon Edwards, knocking out Jeff Neal, nearly knocking out Ian Gary if he just let his hands go the whole fight. That would be such a different fight now. Fuck, I don't know. Maybe Prates would win that fight. Prates could win that fight. That's really close. Maybe I would lean towards Prates at this moment in time if Bilal Muhammad was landing on Ingari. And amazing performance there from Carlos Prates. He is either going to be next at the end of the year, especially if it's Ingari, or he's going to fight Michael Morales, and that's another incredible fight. He's just after finishing the number one contender. And, you know, I'm not saying he absolutely doesn't deserve it over Ingari. I for the life of me, cannot understand why it's not even, like, just completely clear to every single person on planet Earth that Ingari has to be next for Islam Makhachev, considering his body work. And especially tonight, with that level of win for Carlos Prates, where JDM is, the fact Ian Gary took that on short notice. Listen, you can hate Ian Gary all you want. I would even say I'm an Ian Gary fan outside of the cage. It's just because we're Irish. The dude is good. the dude is that good. The dude is that good at range. The dude is that good at popping and moving. He is an exceptional fighter. And JDM was another bad display. He couldn't get going, and I didn't think he was going to be able to get going. I knew this was too dangerous, bro. I knew Prates was too good. For JDM to really have success, he needs to get in the pocket. He needs to get in the pocket. There was too many ways for Prates to win this fight, in my opinion. There was too many ways. He had the knee up the middle. He had the left hand. He had the spinning shit when JDM came close. And look what happened. The low kicks as well. I said it in my preview about the low kicks as well. But let me know what you think about this down below, boys. It was a great fight. I'm going to talk more about the card maybe tonight or tomorrow. Thanks for watching.